Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try, it feels like women hold a silent, invisible power over men? Not through violence, not through logic, but through desire. Schopenhauer saw it, and what he uncovered was brutal and deeply uncomfortable. He believed women were not passive objects of admiration, but active agents in a biological scheme so dark and cold it would make even the strongest man feel like a puppet, a pawn, a prisoner of instincts he never chose. To Schopenhauer, nature was a savage force. It didn't care about your happiness, your dreams, or your so-called freedom. Its only goal was the continuation of the species, at any cost. And women? They were the mechanism, the bait. He wrote, "Woman is by nature meant to obey." But this wasn't a call for domination. No, this was Schopenhauer peeling back the illusion of equality and romance to reveal something far more disturbing. He saw the female not as a partner in love, but as a tool of nature's manipulation, beautiful, alluring, and designed from the ground up to drive man mad, not out of hatred, but out of necessity. Because for nature to succeed, men must suffer, they must chase, they must long, they must fight for something they can never fully have. A woman's beauty, her softness, her mystery, all of it is an illusion, a trick, a carefully crafted signal that bypasses your rational mind and hits you in the gut. It makes you want, not just physically, but existentially. You don't just want her, you want what she represents. Love, approval, legacy, worth. But Schopenhauer warned, every time you pursue a woman, you are not acting freely. You are being puppeteered by a blind force, one that uses your deepest yearning against you. He wrote, "The sexual impulse is the most deceitful of all illusions. It drives men to acts of madness, promises joy, but delivers only slavery. And this slavery is internal. You chase success, you chase power, you chase her. But what if it's all one chase, one trap? Because the more you give, the more you need. And the more you need, the weaker you become." This is not a hatred of women. It's a revelation of the biological game. Nature wants the species to survive. And you are just fuel for that engine. Women don't consciously want you to suffer, but nature does. And it will use them, and your desire for them, to keep you locked in a lifelong battle between lust and freedom. And the worst part, you think it's love. You were told love is sacred, that one day a woman would complete you, make you whole. But Schopenhauer would laugh, not because he hated love, but because he saw what hides behind it. A prison made of promises and sealed by biology. Let's get brutally honest. Romantic love, the way it's sold to men, is a scam. You don't fall in love with her. You fall in love with what she represents. Salvation, purpose, escape. She becomes the answer to all your inner emptiness, until you realize she's not the cure, she's the mirror. Schopenhauer believed that love is not some divine connection. It's a manipulation device, a tool nature uses to bind man to woman long enough to make babies, and then leave him broken, enslaved, and emptied. He wrote, "Love is nothing but a trap laid by nature, a momentary illusion through which the will to life perpetuates itself." Did you catch that? Your feelings, the butterflies, the longing, the desperation, they're not divine, they're mechanical. They're not your soul speaking, they're your species using you. The woman becomes everything, your joy, your reason to live, your future. And in that moment, you're no longer a man, you're an addict. You trade your time, money, energy, even your dreams, just to stay close to the thing you believe will save you. But it doesn't. Because romantic love always comes with a hidden cost, sacrifice. You sacrifice your independence, your logic, your clarity, and she, knowingly or not, becomes the gatekeeper of your worth. Schopenhauer didn't blame women for this. He blamed nature, because it needs men to suffer, to chase, to compete, to kneel, so the cycle of life keeps spinning. And the more noble your love feels, the deeper the illusion. The man who thinks he's being romantic is often just being used, by instincts he never asked for, and by a system designed to consume him. And society applauds it. They'll call you a real man for sacrificing yourself. They'll say, happy wife, happy life. They'll tell you it's maturity to give everything and expect nothing. But Schopenhauer warned, the moment you let romance rule your reason, you're no longer a man, you're a slave. And still, you'll crawl back to her, because you believe she's worth it. But the question is, what is your worth? She doesn't need to lift a finger. She doesn't need to scream, threaten, or fight. All she needs to do is exist. Schopenhauer believed women were nature's most perfected weapon, not through strength but through seduction, not through domination but through subtlety. And you fall for it every time. Why? Because women are born with a power most men will never fully understand. It's not intelligence, not cunning. It's far deeper than that. It's instinctual manipulation. Even as girls, they learn, without being taught, how to tilt their head, change their tone, feign innocence, and play the emotional strings like a symphony. Not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. Because they survive by influence, not force. And here's the harsh truth. Men want to be deceived, because the fantasy is better than the reality. You want to believe she loves you for who you are, not what you provide. You want to believe she's loyal by nature, not by circumstance. But Schopenhauer said, the fundamental fault of the female character is that it lacks a sense of justice. He wasn't being sexist, he was being surgical. To him, the female mind is designed not to build, but to secure. Her goal isn't fairness, it's survival. And to survive, she must attract the best mate and hold him by any means necessary. That means tears when needed, silence when it benefits, flattery when it opens wallets, and distance when control is required. You've seen it, you've felt it, that strange feeling like you're being handled, not loved. The praise when you're strong, the shame when you're weak, the affection when you succeed, the withdrawal when you fail. You think she's emotional, you think she's unpredictable, but in truth, she's effective. Because manipulation is not her weakness, it's her birthright. And in a world where men must earn everything, she was born with what you'll die trying to deserve. Let that sink in. The moment you need her validation, you lose control. The moment you chase her approval, you hand over your power. And the moment you forget this one truth, you fall. Her power is not real. It's your weakness that makes it real. There's a silent war women fight every day, but it's not with you, it's with time. Because Schopenhauer saw something most men overlook, that a woman's power is fleeting, and she knows it. From the moment she blooms, the world bends around her. Attention flows like water, doors open, compliments shower down. Men orbit her like she's gravity itself. But deep inside, she feels the clock ticking. Schopenhauer believed that a woman's beauty is her main currency, not by choice but by design. And unlike men, who can build power, wealth, and influence over time, a woman's value in the eyes of nature peaks early, and then it begins to vanish. She sees it in the mirror, in the way men's eyes wander less, in the way her charm begins to fade, not because she changed, but because the illusion no longer holds. You think she's confident, she's terrified. Not of you, but of irrelevance. Because for most women, beauty isn't just an asset, it's identity. It's the language of power they've always spoken, and when it fades, so does their leverage. Schopenhauer wrote, "The wife is a mere means for preserving the species, not an end. Her charm fades, and with it her importance." Cold? Maybe, but brutally accurate. And so what happens? She scrambles. She tries to lock down commitment while she still holds power. She pushes for marriage, security, lifestyle, not because she loves you, but because she fears the future. This isn't evil, it's instinct, a survival tactic wrapped in smiles. Meanwhile, the man, once desperate in youth, slowly becomes powerful. His value can rise with age, wisdom, success, but hers is melting with every passing year. That's why the older she gets, the more controlling she becomes, more demanding, more fearful. She knows deep down that her grip is slipping. and the resentment begins. She resents the younger women who now get the attention. She resents the man who still rises while she declines, and she resents nature itself for giving her power only to rip it away when she needs it most. That resentment? She turns it towards you. You become the outlet, the one who didn't suffer as she did, the one who still has time. And so the punishment begins. Not always conscious, but very real. Because if she's losing her power, you're going to feel it too. What if the only way to win is not to play? Schopenhauer didn't say hate women. He said understand them, then decide. Because once you see the game for what it is, the manipulation, the instinctual traps, the biological deceit dressed as romance, you're left with two options: chase the illusion or free yourself from it. He chose the second. To Schopenhauer, solitude wasn't loneliness, it was liberation. A man who walks away from the illusions that enslave him doesn't lose love. He regains clarity. He wrote, "Marrying means to do everything possible to become an object of ridicule." Harsh? Maybe. But think. How many men have been destroyed chasing validation? How many have bent their entire lives around a woman, only to be discarded when their usefulness faded? How many lost their purpose because they believed love was the path to peace, when it was just a leash around their neck? Schopenhauer's answer was simple: withdraw. Not with hatred, not with bitterness, but with vision. He saw that the man who builds himself, for himself, becomes untouchable. No woman can manipulate a man who no longer needs her approval. No illusion can bind the man who sees through the lie. And no amount of beauty can sway the man who walks in truth. You want freedom? Then stop chasing a system designed to break you. Let the world call you cold. Let them say you're afraid of commitment. Let them mock your solitude. They mocked Schopenhauer too, and yet he saw what they refused to see. He wasn't running from women. He was walking toward power. Not the power to dominate, but the power to choose. So ask yourself, are you living your life? Or are you just playing your part in nature's cruel joke? Are you the master of your path, or the victim of your instincts? Because in a world built to use you, sometimes the strongest move a man can make is to walk away. Let that echo in your mind. You are not born to suffer. You are born to see clearly, and clarity is the beginning of real freedom.